Welcome to Colorful Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Yukisha, and this is
Turkeisha, and welcome to our girl chat.
yes, because today I feel like it's really about to be girl chat for real, for real.
Let me say something about this because I often wonder about the viewers who watch this and we talk about certain interactions that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I
Like what?
wonder if people think like we gossiping when we're really sharing our experiences. Because you know how we'd be like, so we had a conversation with a young lady, or I talked to my client. So I always wondered that because I don't look at it like that. I look like we're sharing, we reflecting, and we're growing from it. But I often wonder because I'm like, what is gossip? Because I feel like when you're
Mm.
gossiping, you are literally talking about that person in a negative connotation, like disclosing their business, or I wouldn't have did that, and did you see what she had on?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's different when you share an experience, whether you reveal the person's name or not. Just talking about something that was a growth opportunity that made you feel better. Just was wondering about
I
that.
think gossip always has a negative connotation to it,
I do.
I no, it can be like, girl, I got something to tell you,
Yes.
or guess what, or um we don't do that. I definitely believe it's the intention of if you're sharing, because I'm sure,
That's very good. That's
yeah,
very good. The intentions,
the
because a lot
intention,
of times is the intention when gossiping is to bring that other person in to side with whatever opinion and to
yes,
keep going and making a story go versus like, oh no, let's look at this in a different light.
yes, I absolutely, because think about it. I'm sure in our conversations with each other or with somebody else, let's say, for example, talking about me to your friends that may know me, you can say, yeah, Keisha, does this, blah, blah, blah. And it's not gossiping about me. You're just sharing whatever, whether it could be good, bad, or whatever. But your intention is not, let me tell you what Keisha did.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Like a
saying?
stab in the back
Yeah, like a
or
stab in the back.
yeah.
I think that we share a lot now, stories, especially on this podcast.
Really, this is the only time we share
Yeah,
stories,
we only share.
honestly.
Yeah, we only share. Yeah, we don't, because anytime outside this, we don't
We
be
are
talking.
talking about all
What are we
yeah,
talking about?
birds and clouds, TikTok.
TikTok. Did you see this TikTok?
Yes.
Our gossip
Or
is
our
about a TikTok,
family.
probably, like,
Yeah,
girl.
that's about it.
Yeah, because yeah, we don't be sharing nothing. And but Takesha, honestly, think about it. Over the years, even
Before we started doing the podcast, we
we
never
never
did.
really we never
All of
really
our
gossip.
conversations was family based because our families pretty much mirror each other in their behaviors.
Yes, and even as teenagers, I'm trying to think if there was
If we talked
um
about anything, it was boys.
it was boys, it was boys. We may have discussed friendships that ended, but not in a um
It
I
still
don't
was
know.
self-reflecting.
It's still,
Like, did
yeah.
we do something or what happened or just okay,
Yeah.
moving
Well,
along?
yeah, we never really. Most of our gossip probably was about a man or a
Yeah,
boy.
that yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like, girl, guess what? That's
Yes, that's
yeah. That probably was when we would have our guy. But even then, though, think about it. It was never like, I think that if you shared something with me, I probably was trying to tell you, girl, you should do this, but in a positive
and
way.
that's what I think about it, that most of ours are growth conversations, self-reflection. I don't think everything is just like dogging or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I try to stay away from them conversations, and it's like, because I work with so many public people. Sometimes you can, it's harder when you do that, but I'm intentional about it because now it makes me feel heavy. It made me feel a certain way before. It didn't make me feel anything, and I don't celebrate anybody's downfall or anything like that, or something. Now, when some karma come on somebody, I may say, I saw that coming.
Right,
Like, not in no, that's what you get, but that's kind of just what's gonna
and
happen.
not even that you spread it around like, girl, this happened. You just having that thought like,
yeah,
and
like
moving on,
like, I ain't surprised, but we reflect a lot. So even when I talk about, I had a conversation with a client on here or whatever, even if my client saw it, nobody has ever been like, why did you say that? Because I don't share anything that's just like super horrible or gossipy or anything. Everything is to be a learning experience.
I agree. I believe everything is a learning experience, and we share our personal experiences, the things that we've witnessed and gone through. It's not like, or even if I experience something through third party, I'm sharing it for a growth opportunity. I'm reflecting on it for growth, because every day, humans, as you say, I'm trying to be a better human.
Girl, my sister did put in the comments though that one week that I don't overshare.
Because you don't. You know how I said Sierra was really good with PR? You are too. You're very good with being engaged in a conversation, but very mindful of what you share. And I believe that I used to be like that, because everybody would be like, oh, you so private, you so private. But once I got into my releasing everything, I became the open book. And it's just like, oh, okay, because you know what? Nothing that is said can come back to haunt me.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's why you don't, but I'm just saying it like, because it's my truth in that moment. In my moment, that's my truth. But I think once I got, like, revisiting last week's conversation, once I got to where I just was no longer holding it in, I became the sharer. And this space, I only feel like it's oversharing because this is out for the universe.
Yeah, everybody, everybody can see it, as we know.
Yes. So it's just like people who don't know me know my business, so to speak.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's oversharing. Whereas if this conversation was like not the cameras rolling, I would just be like, whatever. I'm still like, whatever.
I don't think that I not overshare. I think when certain topics come up, that's when I share certain things about me. I don't think that I just don't. I am intentional about my life and things that I put out there, but I feel like God do lead me when it's time, when we talking about certain things, that it's like, you need to share this.
I agree.
Because it's gonna help somebody.
I agree.
And it's not like every week I'm like,
I think that you're very strategic with it.
Yeah, it's not.
I would like to be more like that. But I don't think that's in my cards.
But that's where we differ though, because I also think that when you have shared things, there are so many people that probably don't comment and don't say anything, that feels exactly how you feel, go through exactly what you're going through, and can relate to that.
So I have something to bring up. Speaking of that, I was in conversation with someone and we were talking about Mother's Day, and it came up, vomit of the mouth, you know me, about how I've never really cared about Mother's Day. And this person, she told me that she felt the same way. But I don't know if I really went into detail on my reasons, but hers was just like, she just wanted to be celebrated on that day. And she felt like she wasn't celebrated because she's no longer with her children's fathers. And sometimes with kids growing up, they don't have the means to do certain things. Because if Jordan made me a card right now, I'm doing a cartwheel. Like, look, the 30-year-old construction paper card. I'm geeked up. You know what I'm saying? But she was just like, it was always a struggle for her because it was the day where she celebrated her mom, but she wanted to feel special and never felt that opportunity before. But this year, I think it hit different for her because her son took her to brunch, breakfast, dinner,
and
whatever.
She felt special.
And she felt the love and the joy from being with her children. For me, it was always the day that I celebrated my mother, but I wasn't so on the I didn't have anybody to celebrate me, because that was never my thing. I had a baby because I wanted somebody to love. So I was never really looking for um or I wanted somebody to love. I wanted somebody to love me, but I never was looking for the accolades, because in my mind it was, I'm a mom every day. I want this love in my life every day. I didn't need a special day, but that one day a year reminded me of the circumstances that I brought my son into the world. So it
Yes.
made me sad, because I you know how we talked about like mature, but now looking at those pictures from when I had him, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I look like I was 12
Girl,
years
you
old,
look
like a
so
little
young.
girl.
Yeah.
Like,
You were a little girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the maturity level that I thought was there most definitely wasn't there. It's in the visual now that I see it. But that day I always thought about, like, if I would have took my time and planned, I would have had my son under better circumstances for him to possibly grow up in a two-parent household. We never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you're in the situation and it's already all bad, like when I got pregnant, my son's father was already living in a different state. So I had kind of set it up. So that was one day a year that I always sat in that. But this year, or maybe it was last year, I don't know, as the years come, you know, and I grow and I heal, I release a lot of that. And within the last year, for sure, a lot of things that I held on to as a mom, I no longer hold on to, because there's no perfect parenting. The kids are, no matter what you do, it's going to be something where that child is going to be like, it wasn't enough. And I'm finally coming to terms with, at that point in time, I did the best I could, and I'm doing everything now to be a better mother based on my maturity level. But that's just a perfect example of that type of things being held in, because you see so many happy Mother's Day, but you don't know the people who's really out there smiling, celebrating, that's on the inside, falling apart.
Yeah, I think that, and I don't know. Mother's Day used to be for my mom, for sure, and now that she's gone, and my kids are older, this is the first year that they've actually, well, no, they've always made a card or, done something, but even though they've done things, I still never felt like it was for me. And they did something nice this year, really sweet, and I was, grateful. But for some reason, I still don't feel like that day is really. It makes me just think about my mother.
My son never did even tell me Happy Mother's Day. Okay. We spent the day together,
but let me tell you,
hung out. But that was more important to me than those words.
And that's what I was going to say to you about that. But you know how at one point, and probably still is, you never really cared about holidays. And your son is just like you. He don't really care about holidays, birthdays, or anything like that. So I would not really have expected him to say Happy Mother's Day, because as far as he know, you still don't really care about.
Yeah, I've set that example where it's just
So the fact that y'all spent the day together, though, like that I know that meant more to you than anything. But saying it, I think it's just a everyday thing. I want you to show me you love me daily.
Every day.
And that's in anybody.
Because I try my best to show those that I love them every day.
Yeah.
Not on, oh, it's Sister's Day, it's Best Friend Day. These holidays that, where do they come up with this?
Yeah.
This is a whole sidebar, but my supervisor sends us like whatever day it is, and it be some of the craziest days.
Left-handed day.
That I'd be like, who came up with this?
It's man-made stuff.
Yes.
I want to be loved every day. I want the people in my life to show me they love and care for me every day. Like, some people get mad if I remember somebody mentioning to me about their birthday. Somebody else didn't make this big extravagant post on social media about their birthday, but they did it for their other friend and whatever. And I was like, you care about that? And I just think that a lot of things now have been made for us to get mad over the smallest thing. You know, my kids didn't make no long extravagant posts on social media about me and happy Mother's Day or birthday, nothing. Um, but I know they love me.
Yeah, even when my son was like on social media back in the day, I think he on there now in secret, but he's never done that.
Yeah.
And I've never been that person like, my birthday roll around and I'm waiting on the long, like, you do this, you do that. Because
A lot of that's fake.
my thing is, if you're not showing me that regularly, in my heart, if I'm being real, I'm pissed off. This
Yeah.
not how you treat me every day. So
Yeah.
don't, because are you doing this post for me or
Or
for the other people in your life that know that it's my birthday? Or is
yeah.
it to make you feel better?
Yeah.
Because can you show me that yesterday?
I want to be shown
Every single
every day.
day.
Every
Every day.
day.
I never want to question or feel unloved when I'm around or with the people that I love. I don't want to wait for your birthday to come up and then I'm using my writing skills to write you out this very long, extravagant paragraph. Let me show you how I know my friend loved me. Okay? This. And I was low on chocolate. I didn't have to reach out to my chocolate pusher today because you came through. I meant to tell you that I need some water. But anyway, let's keep it
Wait a
moving.
minute. I was thinking on the way here, like, I wonder if she need to go to the library. Just when somebody's in your life, somebody you love, friend, sister, brother, kid, whatever. I just think about, oh, she didn't mention this. I wonder if she needs to go. Let me go a little earlier just in case she needs to go to the library or something. But I want to be shown in those ways that I'm cared for and loved every day. I don't, I mean, Mother's Day is a wonderful day and I like to see people celebrate their mothers.
Yes.
But, did I feel that day? I, I try to make my sister feel special that day more than probably myself. Like we started like a new tradition kind of last year. Um, and I think we're gonna keep it going because I think she enjoy it. But I want other people to feel good, and I want to show the people that I love, and in return, I want to feel that every day. I don't want special days to come, and I don't want to wait until my birthday or whatever to receive. These so pretty
Thank
to
you.
receive flowers. You know what I'm saying? If you have to wait on that, like, no.
Yes, yes.
And I remember being in
Hands down on
relationships.
flowers while we alive.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I don't think I gave my mother enough of when she was here was flowers, which is why now
My mom hated flowers. So
I
that
don't.
my mother was my lesson
Mm,
because she taught me to pay attention to the person I am gifting because I would gift her things that I liked.
yeah, yeah,
And then I would always give her flowers and she would not care. So it got to the point where I was just like, okay, I like flowers.
yeah.
She don't. So let me stop giving her flowers. But my aunt loves flowers.
Really.
Yes. So when I give her flowers, she like me, like, oh, let me put these up. This is beautiful, But my mom would be
And see,
like,
my mother received flowers every now and then, and she would put, but I don't know if she was a lover of flowers because I didn't always bring her flowers. We would get her gifts together, and my mother liked jewelry and stuff
that's
for
what
the
I was about
house
to
and
say. That's
stuff.
what my mom wanted. She wanted some
Yeah,
jewelry, handbags.
yeah.
She wanted something that was going to last forever.
But I love flowers, and I didn't realize that I love fresh flowers in my house. Like I'm all over my house now. I love fresh flowers in my house, and I want to receive my flowers not just on my birthday or whatever or Valentine's Day. I want to just be like, I thought about you here.
I agree. I've actually gotten away from gift giving on occasions as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Because number one, I noticed that it wasn't always reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's also a shine. That's also a sign of appreciation.
Yeah.
Not that it's a tit for tat, but again, we always talk about we want to know that we're loved and cared for. And again, I keep saying the word appreciated. So I started pulling back from doing that. And then I started doing things throughout the
The year,
year and
yeah.
just more often. Even, and it doesn't even have to be big. I have a friend who likes Toy Story. When I was at the store, Dollar Tree, that ain't a dollar no more, that make me sad. But when I was there getting some socks, I seen a pair of Toy Story, so I just picked them
Oh,
up.
some Toy Story socks?
Yes, and was just like, oh, okay, and kept on going. You know what I'm saying? It don't need to be an extravagant $50 gift bag full of something. This is just,
Yeah.
I appreciate you as my friend. Girl, you got to come get them socks.
Yeah, I think I'm moving away from that too, because that's funny that you said that, because my son's birthday is coming up, and I was like, what should I get him for his birthday? And I was thinking, like, I don't think I have to get him an actual gift. I could take him out to dinner, and because throughout the year I do things for my children that's just like here. I mean, the other day, he wear a white dress shirt to work, and the two shirts he wore, they just kind of looked kind of to me. And I was out, and I had bought him some new white shirts and laid them on his bed. And to me, not that he asked for me anything, but I just feel like throughout the year I'm going to do. And I got some other things planned for the rest of the year for them. But I was like, I'm sitting here busting my brain, like, what should I get him? And if I decide to do something, but I don't think it's a big deal if there is not like
Nothing.
a huge, one thing I did was set him up to get money. So, and he does well with that. So, I don't know. I just want to show even my children that I love them, you know, every day. Not, that I have to do these extravagant things to prove my love for you.
Yeah.
If I don't do something extravagant, doesn't mean I don't love you or I don't care about you. So I'm definitely moving away from that. I did give my sister some gifts for Mother's Day, but I also got her things that I thought that because she travels a lot, she traveled for her job, so I saw things that I was like, oh, you know what? I think that she would like this for her travels, and she loves the color purple, so I got her like a purple candle, something, just a gesture. She loves candles, so I just, I'm moving away from that.
She got me the cutest little Mother's Day gift. I'm surprised I didn't cry for real tears.
She showed it to
I
me.
gasped and was like, and when I saw it, and I was just like, it was just a little tray with all the biblical names, and it was all women, and I was just,
yeah. She got me something too, but it didn't have my name. It said sister, and it had a message on it. It was a puzzle piece, and oh god, it was saying something like, I'm gonna have to take a picture and show it to you when I get home. But it was like sister, and it had a message about a puzzle piece, like we the puzzle piece to keep together, each other together. But when she showed me yours, I was like, oh, she's gonna love that. She's going to love it.
I was just like,
yeah. She's a gift giver. She is. Yeah, she's a gift giver.
She is. Let me say this though, because this is how y'all set me up. When you're a gift giver and then you come around me without a gift,
oh, you be expecting a gift?
I be expecting a gift. So when we did the record, I'm like, you ain't got nothing for me, and you brought something for my sister. Like, I'm confused because you didn't set me up where I expected.
But no, my cousin is like that with her too. My older cousin, who's like an aunt and a cousin. My sister would always, when she would go over there, she always had something for her. So one time she didn't have anything, and my cousin was like, "You didn't bring me anything."
Yeah, and I ain't even sure about it. Like, wait a minute, you didn't bring me anything?
But I did. That cousin, my sister is usually the one who has stuff, but I went and bought some roses, and I got a car, and I sent my daughter to church on Sunday, and to my cousin's church, and I said, go in and give her these roses and tell her happy Mother's Day from us, and you sit with her and everything. And my cousin almost cried because she was like, I thought y'all forgot about me. Aww. And I was like, no, it was,
never.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, life gets busy. Things be changing, but you know, I ain't gonna never forget about
Those you
family,
love.
the people I love. Like, and I felt in my spirit that, you know, she needed to be reminded that I love you. Here you go. You know, so not no big gift, but my sister's a gift giver. That girl, and most time you're gonna get a journal with that gift.
Yeah, she gave me 2 books, and it was just like you could write in them, and I was so happy about that because,
Yeah, she.
but it's her and I are the same with that.
Yeah,
We are very much the same with that. I've just kind of, like I said, I've kind of slowed up, and I probably slowed up too because I don't have transportation to go get gifts.
And that's what you. Yeah, you're a gift giver too. You both of y'all are very
Now that I
similar
think
that way.
about it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You to go get the gifts.
because I was just like, wait a minute, why did I stop?
Why you stop giving gifts?
Yeah, that plays a huge factor.
Girl, I want to be loved and, you know, supported every single day. So I hope that I am giving that to the people I love, like showing them in whatever way that I love you, I support you, I'm here for you. It doesn't have to be a Mother's Day, a Father's
Yes,
Day,
it doesn't
or
even have to be financial.
it doesn't even have to be financial, you know, just whatever it is. Oh, girl, please. I, 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 I think that's the best thing ever. So with your son not telling you Happy Mother's Day, I know your feelings wasn't hurt.
Yeah, I was just like, he didn't even tell me.
I was gonna
Like,
say, did he even know it's Mother's Day?
yes, and I knew he knew it because he mentioned it the day before. Like, yeah, well, tomorrow Mother's Day, da 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 da. And I was just like, oh, so he at least know it is. But it was no big deal. We spent the whole day. Like, I did a few little things on my own, but after that, when I came home, we was just together.
Yeah, you're together.
And this is just what I want for us regular, like not
Yeah.
because someone dictated to us that is Mother's Day.
Do you realize, well, I know you realize it now, that your son mirrors you, because like we said, you don't really acknowledge like holidays like that, and now he doesn't either. Did you realize that he mirrors you in such a strong way?
I didn't realize that it was as strong as it was. I
Okay.
did know that he mirrored me in both good and bad ways, but I did not realize that it was as strong as it was, honestly, until maybe right now. Like with having this conversation, like you're right. If I never even talked about the holidays, why would I expect him? Because this is how he was raised. You know what I'm saying? We got to the point where it was just like, yeah, we ain't doing that no more. And we never did. That's why I was so, just because, and like, I still don't really care about any of those days, but I have gotten back into celebrating myself for my birthday. That's the one thing that once my mom passed away, I did pick up. And it was just more so because she reminded me, her passing at 61 reminded me how short and precious life is.
Yes.
So that is why I really got back in the habit of celebrating it. And a lot of reflections that I have been going through, that I realized that how much I really didn't mirror my mother, and I want to, because I was just like, she was such a feminine lady, like how we talked about, like how your mom, the both of them, like when they went out the house, they looked a certain way, whereas I ain't going in my pajamas but close enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think I mirrored my mother growing up, but now at this age I am now, there are things that I can see that I am starting to mirror my mother. When I look at my children, to me, they don't mirror me. Not yet.
I mirrored my dad.
I can see that.
I mirrored my dad, but as a woman, okay,
you're getting rid of that masculine.
I am getting rid of that.
Yes.
And yeah, but yeah, Jordan most definitely.
Do you think my kids mirror me, either one of them, in any way?
No,
I don't either. That's bold. My daughter mirrors you.
Which is so wild.
Yeah, you asked me, what did you ask me the other day?
I asked you about the movie, and you was just like, well, you know she gonna say whatever you said. And she did.
Yes. I said, Gabby went to see the movie. And you was like, okay, tell me what she think. I was like, And then you said, "What's she like? What she think?" I said, and when I said it, I was like, "Exactly what you said." She mirrors you. Like you really actually helped me like understand my child, and I have to thank you for that because a lot of times we be thinking little girls gonna be just like their mothers and do what their mothers do, and she really is her own person. She's not like anybody on either side of the family. Not on my side, not on his side. You know, she is her own person, and I am learning to love that about her. At first, it was like I wanted her, to, be who I was trying to mold her to be, and I was like, you can't do that to your kids, because that's when they'll start, pushing back away from you and kind of rebelling. So I have learned to allow her to be who she is and love what she loves, and just like I said, her music style, you done been in the car, is so eclectic. I'll be 1 minute we listening to African Afro beats, and the next minute we listening to the Clock Sisters, and I just be like, okay, Gabby, like, but her love for music reminds me of Mirrors You, because every day she listens to music every single day, and it's just all types of genres. So I'm like, girl, and then
yes, because when I told you I listened to Taylor Swift, you was like,
yeah, I was like, you listen to her? I'm like, what song? You was like, well, I can't name all of them not right now. I'm like, but you like her? I ain't never picked no Taylor Swift song. Sorry, Taylor Swift Swifties, whatever y'all are.
yes,
But
Swifties.
yeah, I'm like, what? If there's a song of hers that I like, I can't name it, because I probably just hear it like in the store or something.
I can't name no songs with that one artist.
Girl, yeah, that's crazy. That
Beyonce.
Yeah, I'm mad I ain't going to Beyonce this weekend.
She here this weekend?
Chicago.
Oh, is she coming here?
Let me tell you something. This is switching gears, because y'all are part of our girl chat, and this is how we change subjects. Now, she's only going to specific cities. And what I've recently learned...
Oh, because she's going to cities where performers were... However, I'm trying to say
it was certain things that happened, not just performers, but certain things that happened
for Black people,
in history for Black people.
Yes.
So I would have to look up what happened in Chicago on these dates. But yeah, she's only going to places that have significant meaning to those. But I was like, did we have some Detroit riots?
I love that Beyonce is a symbolism girl, and that she is very intentional.
Very intentional. Very intentional. Like,
I love that her
thought process.
Immaculate.
Yeah, her thought processes go so deep when it comes to the things that she does. And her now having her daughters out there. Oh, I love her daughters. That little one, she's just so happy.
Yeah, she's very happy.
She's so happy, and you could tell the appreciation she had. That very first show when she turned and hugged her. She hugged her at the last LA show too. She turned around and she was singing with her, and then she hugged her, and I was like, that little girl just probably been begging. You can sing as a little child, like, can I please go out there with
come
y'all?
On. And then don't let your older sister be doing something
that you want to do. That you want to do.
Come on, you let Blue do it.
Yeah, like, why you let Blue go out there and I can't go out there? And it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you this one little spot. Just like I said, wow, she's so happy. But I'm like, but back to Beyonce, she's so intentional, and it's a lot of lessons that people can learn from her being intentional, and her silence is golden.
Yes.
Her silence is
I've definitely learned a lot from Beyonce indirectly. Like,
yes, I know
attention. And that'd be the thing where if you really pay attention, you don't, anybody can be a teacher.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
I don't know what the saying is, but it's something like when you ready to learn, like if the student's ready to learn, the teacher will appear. I really firmly believe that because it was just, and I was saying this to my son yesterday, like I will never understand the algorithm, but because there's certain things that I know I do not search on my phone at all, like
That
not
comes
even
up.
that comes up. But I'm just like, it be things that I really be wanting to know more information about.
And then it'll come up.
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer of that saying. I don't know what the for real saying is, but I have definitely experienced. But watching her, I realized, like you said, silence is golden. What she say? The best revenge is her paper. She ain't
Listen,
lying.
that doggone, and and people be like, "Oh, y'all worshiping her." Let me tell you something. Even the Las Vegas Sphere filed a lawsuit against her like 2 weeks ago. Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
And told her stop using a image or whatever. She didn't say nothing. She didn't reply. She took that sucker out the video and kept it moving. And to me, it was a lose for them, because it's like, now y'all got a bad relationship with somebody who would have brought y'all a lot of, money. Later on, just because this situation didn't work out, don't mean later on she won't come back and say, you know what, let's try again. And they
Perfect example of not gossiping, not having any kind of conversation about it. Like, okay, I'm reflecting with my team. Y'all don't want it on here?
will take it
We're going
off.
to take it off and we're going to keep moving.
Keep it moving. I was like, she did it so quickly too. Like, okay, I ain't got to reply. I'm just going to remove it. Y'all don't want it on there? I'll remove it. And I was like, man, I know I move in silence a lot, but I mean, that'd be lessons, like, because you be wanting to say stuff back. Like, oh, y'all did this to me. She took that sucker off and was done. Like, oh, y'all ain't got to worry about suing me. Even though I have the money to pay you all, if you sued me, I could still keep using it, but I'll remove it.
Mm-hmm. Life has definitely taught me that everything most definitely doesn't need to be a conversation piece, doesn't need a reply. Like, I can definitely back away from the lesson and keep on going, or situation or whatever it is, where before I used to feel like I wanted to be like, oh, okay, like, but outside of my son, for the most part, I can just let everything else go. But if you come for him, me and all my demons are coming.
Yeah, I think that's where my weakness would be too, is my children, because I'm not playing with anybody about my
message.
Kids. Yeah, about my kids. I'm not. Mama Tina, she wrote that book. She let a lot of, she spoke about a lot of lessons she learned, and you can actually see the lessons in fruition with her children. One of the things that she also showed was her forgiveness with her ex-husbands, because she actually had her ex-husband join her on stage in Houston, Texas, as she talked about her book. And she talked about him a lot in this book because he was so instrumental in her life, bad and good. And they were able to come together and talk about it and laugh. And I just looked like, wow. And at the end, his new wife joined them on stage for a picture. And I was like, wow, this is huge. And to me, she was showing examples of forgiveness, love. They raised these amazing children. And then the next day, she congratulated her latest ex-husband on his new book. And he was like, thank you. So, and I was like, she was just like showing me there's no reason to be, at odds with it. It didn't work out.
It really isn't. And the universe is abundant. The last time I checked, like, God told us all things was possible. Like, it's limitless. So I ain't got to act a certain way, because we all can get it.
Yeah, we all can. It's enough for all of us.
Yes.
It's really, you ain't got.
And then if I'm in my feelings and mad and all of that, like, I don't want to bring whatever extra energy comes with that.
It's enough for everybody in every area of life.
Yes, it's just like, you're not the first person doing it. And you're not gonna be the last.
And you need to stop thinking you're the best.
Listen.
Because everybody think they the best at everything.
Everybody think they're the best at everything, and you can most definitely continue to learn and grow, because I know I ain't the best.
If you have an issue learning from others, if you think you are the absolute best at whatever it is you do, and you like, I can't learn from them because I learn from people younger, older, whatever, every single day.
Every day.
I learn from my children. I learn from elders. I learn from young people. I learn from everybody. And if you don't think that you can take a lesson from people that you think are beneath you, then there's an issue there.
Yeah, a huge issue.
A huge issue, because I mean,
I want to be around people where I can learn things. I'm here to grow. I'm like a flower. Okay.
You blooming.
Yes, I am blooming. So if you got me where I'm dried up and I'm becoming a weed, it's a problem.
Hey, I feel like I learned forgiveness from somebody, like I told you, who don't even believe in God. And that was like a huge lesson for me. They appear to be so at peace with things, even though people had hurt them and whatever, in the same ways I had been hurt. But I was like, maybe that was my lesson in that, because immediately after that ended was when I was like, okay, God, first I forgive myself for taking these wrong paths, and now I'm going to forgive people that have done me wrong.
I think I picked up some forgiveness from you as well, because I'm a lick back girl.
Yeah, you are.
I am a lick back. I am one of those where it's just like 20 years pass and you think I forgot? I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity.
And when you say lick back, you wanted to do something specifically to become lick back?
I want you to hurt like I hurt, however that may be. However it may be. I don't have a specific form. I want you to hurt bad.
But it's getting better now?
It's definitely getting better. Like, I almost want to say 90%. Like, I'll pull out the 10 when I need to, because they like to say love and light, but that's not true, because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you have to have that defend yourself type of
absolutely
type
I don't
of
think
thing.
You need to be no wimp.
But right, that's the word. That's an old school word. Wimp.
A wimp. I mean, I'm saved. I'm saved, but I ain't soft. I ain't soft.
Yeah. Period.
I'm soft where I need to be soft,
right.
But you're not gonna run over me.
You're not gonna run over me.
I know how to forgive, but you're not gonna run over me.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I definitely have learned forgiveness, and for me, I've learned understanding too that some people maturity level is not where it needs to be, and that's not my problem. I've learned that a lot of situations where before I might have been on a lick back with everything, I've learned now a lot of situations are just a reflection of who that person is and where they are. It don't have nothing to do with me at all.
You're absolutely right.
It has nothing to do with me. Yeah. It's just a reflection. Now my lick back come in where you try to physically hurt me. That's when it's just like, okay, now I got to crack your head open. Now I got to use the Glock in my purse. You know.
Did you say the Glock in your purse?
I'm just saying, I got a CPO
license. Lord, jeez.
But before it was like, you know, so I've definitely learned a few things from you, for sure. For sure.
It is not easy to forgive and to move on and be silent when you know people talking about you or trying to run your name in the mud, or giving false accusations about you, or just making it like you a person that you're not. It's not easy. And this goes for, because I think about people that used to be friends of mine.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that, you know, probably have conversations. You know, our discerning spirit, I can pretty much know what people say about me. I don't know what y'all say. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
And for it to not bother you and move on and not have those same repetitive conversations about them, um, it's a lot, but it's very freeing now because the more I do it, the better my life is.
Period.
Yeah, like,
and I think I'm laughing because I'm like, I think that I have become so consumed with myself.
The same, Takesha.
And not like in a bad way, but when you step from people pleasing.
Yes.
And you just be consumed with yourself and just trying to make sure that you live in your life the way God wants you to live. That all of that other stuff, I don't even care nothing about. It don't even be no factor until somebody bring it up or bring it to my attention. Because I'm just over here.
Lottie. I be so consumed with myself now. And I used to not be consumed with myself at all because I was such a people pleaser. I was consumed with everybody and everything else. Now being consumed with myself, it's like I don't even think about nobody else. Like, what's gonna make me feel good?
Me either. Me either.
What's gonna make me happy? Like,
me either. I remember my niece had said to me, she was just like, if people are not like directly in my life right there, it's just like they don't really exist. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, it just seemed so crazy to me. My oldest niece.
Really?
Yes, it was so crazy to me. And I'm like, really, for real? But now
that makes sense though.
Now it makes sense because she was so focused on herself, and not in a bad selfish way. Yeah. But when you living your life for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fine line to be considerate of others and not be selfish, but really, I don't need to be worried about nobody else's life and the decisions that they make. My son, because he came from my womb, but outside of that, I don't need to be losing sleep. And because I've talked about this with being an empath, it would be times where I felt like I was carrying more of someone else's weight than they was carrying. So I finally learned again to mimic Dorothy and be moving on with my life. She
was moving on with her life, and she was okay with telling y'all no. Like when you said she wouldn't babysit and all that.
Yes, she was okay with that, and she didn't lose sleep. She wasn't like, well, did I hurt their feelings or this or that? So I'm becoming more and more okay with making decisions that are good for me.
I think my mother was good at that too. She made decisions that was good for her, and she didn't really care about what others thought about it. Like, no, she wanted things to appear proper, yes, but when it came to things for herself that made her happy, and the stuff that made her happy, she did it and didn't care.
Yeah. So, and I think that's the best way, just to be authentic, and life flows so much easier. And I am really trying to step into that because I feel like for so long I would have my moments like that, and then I would withdraw and be in a sunken place. I never want to see that place again. I'm 49. I don't want to spend any more time there. I don't want it to be based on the sun is out or this and that. I just want to be in a good space. And the first step to doing that is just really realizing it and actively showing up.
Yeah.
When they say show, I get that fake it till you make it. Because it's not necessarily about being a fake persona, but it's just show up as that person that you want to be. So that person that I want to be, living in her soft femininity, is showing up every day.
Y'all should have seen when she walked the room. I was like, dang girl, you about to go to a gala. Y'all can't see this full dress she got on. It looked real good. It's fitting in all the right spaces. She got on her purse. But I was like, my friend is done with the gray sweats.
Yes, I am done with the gray sweats, because this is the thing. We all know, like, even of me talking about sharing my shopping addiction or whatever, I have all of these clothes, and like this, I've never worn it. I don't even remember when I got it. I've given away new clothes because I've always been waiting
For a
for an
special occasion to wear.
But
Yeah,
what I realized is me waking up this morning is the occasion.
absolutely.
So I don't need to wait for something. If I have this dress and it makes me feel good about myself, wear the dress. Even if I'm sitting in the house all day, I can sit here and be happy, feeling good. And now I get it, you know, again, with them putting their lipstick on, and it wasn't like a outward. And I'm gonna tell you this: pretty privilege is real.
It is. You see it, you feel it.
Pretty privilege is real. Do you know Sunday? And I'm not even gonna lie, I wore like some jogging pants like material. They were a little bit fancier though, wide legs. My mother had this shirt that I hate, but it's real soft with flowers and butterflies. I said, oh, it's Mother's Day, I'm gonna wear this shirt. I wore it when me and you went to dinner for my birthday. But anyway, I wore the shirt. This guy was walking out the store. I was still in the parking lot. He waited and opened the door for me. And I said, oh, okay. Yep. Pretty privilege is real. But I didn't go out the house looking any kind of way.
Yeah.
All I had on was my lipstick like I did today. And I had this softer version versus the old me would have had them sweat. I would have had on a hoodie with them jogging pants, but I dressed it up a little bit. So I was just like, this is, I want pretty privilege every day. And it made me feel good. Just as simple. And he said, he was just like, oh, I saw you coming. I had to wait to hold the door for you.
See, yeah, it is real. I don't know if it's a bad thing or what, but it is very real.
And he didn't try and get my phone number. It was nothing. He held the door, went on about his day. I never turned around, but it made me feel good and more confident. It was just like, yes, sis. Wear them clothes.
Wear them clothes.
Don't wait for that occasion because we don't know when our last day is going to be. So if I'm about to be up in this house every day dressed up, that's just what it's going to be. If I'm going to go somewhere and it be like, this is something else that I learned from my nieces too, my oldest one and my middle niece, because my middle niece would take a shower at night, go through her routine, and she's spraying that perfume down to go to bed. Okay, I'd be like, girl, you just about to go to bed. Well, I want to smell good for myself.
Yeah,
period. And I know all of that came from my mom.
Yeah,
you know, instilling, teaching her that. I learned a lot of things, like I said, from witnessing my mom, but I mirrored my dad. So now I'm stepping into that. But I was going to say, like, my oldest niece would always, no matter where she was going, she would always dress. But I got these clothes. What am I waiting on? So it don't matter if you looking at me like, why you dressed up? Why you dressed down? Why you dressed down? Why you didn't dress up?
Why you didn't dress? And you know what? That is so true. And
you know what I'm saying?
I hear that being said a lot. Like, what? Why are you waiting on a special?
What am I waiting for? To wear this blouse with these jeans, and I'm just throwing the hoodie on. So no, every day from now on, it's a special occasion.
Absolutely.
And you honestly, what really made me do that too was when I saw that statue in New York
with the lady.
Yes, because I was just like, this represents me. I have mixed views about it because I was just about to say, what did you think about it? It represents me because I got a stomach. I wear the shirts, like my hair is like that. But also, it made me feel like, I don't know if this is the version of me that I want the world to necessarily see.
Yeah.
And I say that from as Black women, they always coming for us anyway. And while that is a clear representation of us, I want us something where it's just more feminine and ladylike. She ain't got to be skinny and boobs and all of that. I'm not saying that, but just a softer version of that.
Yes.
So I like it, but I don't like it at the same time.
Yeah, I thought I like it in a way that that's nice that they put a statue of a Black woman, an everyday Black woman.
Yes.
But the way that she was represented, to me, was not representative of all of us.
And I feel like it brings that, as the minority, like how the majority looks at us. And not that I care how people look at us, but at the same time I do. I don't want Black women to just be viewed like we just out here and don't care and walking around with the bonnets and throwing on anything. And as that girl, I ain't never went out with no bonnet. But like I said, I will throw on whatever.
Yeah.
It's just not the pajama pants, but I'm going to get the bleached out jogging
Yeah,
pants.
yeah.
And I don't want that anymore.
I
don't
don't
want
either.
us to be, viewed as like that, like we just are, like we ghetto or something.
Like
Because
I don't want us to be viewed as an angry Black woman that don't care how she
that don't
dressed.
care how she dressed.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, I don't want that for us. But yeah, so check me out.
I think that this next generation is very good because my daughter is similar to your middle niece, where baby, she does that skincare routine in the morning and at night. She is doing things that I didn't do at that age. She making sure she wear her sunblock, and them lips is gonna stay glossy.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, and even my youngest niece, I think she 9. Them lips,
they not gonna have no dry lips.
They're not gonna have no dry lips.
And then this morning, she had left her edge controller in her locker, and she was in the mirror. I was taking her to school, and she was just like, I just feel like I look a mess. And I looked at her like, this is your look a mess? Because your look a mess look good to me. But it wasn't her finished look because she wasn't able to do what she normally does. And I was like, I wish I had taken more care, coming up like that. And even now, like you said, I'm quick to throw on some whatever and run out the house real quick.
And I believe like your daughter and my nieces, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to put themselves together wherever they go. I've been there and she'd have been like, no, I need to change my clothes because we going to dinner. Whereas me, I'm like, what's my outfit for the day? We going to the 5-star restaurant, then I might consider where it's no. And I get it because I was just like, I feel pretty.
Yeah.
And you act different. When you carry yourself differently. So now I get it why y'all would have full face makeup and all that. I ain't doing that.
And I tell women
I ain't doing that. But now I completely
But I tell women that all the time when they go through that, it don't take all that. And I'm like, it does not take all of that. But a little of that will change how you feel about yourself daily.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yes.
I'm like, I just have on some concealer today and mascara, lip gloss, but I carry myself in a different way if I don't have on anything. And then not saying that's good, but you feel better. Yes. You do. You feel better. It's like,
I promise y'all, when I put this red lip on, it activates something in me.
Yeah, you ain't bought a red lip in a long time.
It activates. I don't know, I'm a namer, but it activator, okay? Because that's why I was like, oh, wait, Keisha, I got to put my lipstick on. Because even though I was feeling pretty in myself, I knew that the lipstick was going to top it off.
Finished touch. Going to be that finished touch. I'm telling you, being a makeup artist, I see it all the time, Keisha. Women who have never had their makeup done or never wear anything or, and I had a client, was it last week? Yes. It was her birthday. She was turning 70. She had never worn anything at all, ever.
Turning 70?
70 years old. It was her first time wearing anything. And I did her makeup for her birthday. And when she looked in the mirror, she was just like, I just felt like a different person. Like, this is like, wow. And I was like, I don't want to wait until I'm old or elderly to, and then we, in conversation, we both was talking about how it's easy for life to become about your kids. Or if
you get in that routine, so those extra steps, you be like, you don't have time
to do it, or I don't have that. That takes too much time. Like you don't have 10 or 15 extra minutes to put into yourself. That, like, what? I think that is the most, disheartening thing for a woman, because when I think about the women In the Bible, they took care of themselves,
Listen,
baby.
we know I'm obsessed with Esther. I was just like, she spent
A year getting the finest of the finest fragrances and oils and lotions and potions.
So I promise you, okay, as a descendant
of Esther, because that's something like when they be like, "Oh, I don't got time for that." I can't tell everybody. Well, you need to make time, but it brings out the femininity unless you don't want to be feminine.
Right. It brings that out. And then I also always think about what you attract.
If you don't want to attract that, because actually after I got divorced and like before everything was about my kids.
Did I say we coming on the close?
No.
Okay, we at a close.
Okay, but after I got divorced and started spending more time on myself, I did attract. Think about people that
You did.
dated. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been good to me.
Yeah.
But I attracted a different
you attracted a different caliber of a man.
Different caliber of
no pun intended, but my friend did.
I mean, but and still, even now, I'm always in the company of a different caliber of a person if I was going to date now. But yeah, you put something and you the picture you had posted, I was like, look at my friend. I ain't seen that Takesha in.
It's been a long time.
A long time.
It's been probably, I think when we first started doing the podcast, I was.
Yeah.
And then it just drifted off and I was in dark places. But now
we be letting our depression and our feelings like
overpower. And there's life is not going to be perfect and we're going to have those situations, but we can't let it take us down, because when we let it take us down, it keeps us down. And that's what I learned. So whenever something come, I'm going to attack it and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let it take me down. You can try it, universe.
And you can try it. And I would encourage the women who watch this to do something for yourself. Lately, because I got back into my abundance book and I know we're closing, but now I'm doing my walking. This morning I took my daughter to school. I got out the car. I didn't go in the house. I went walking, and I feel different when I do that. I have more energy. I could go in the house and lay in the bed.
Girl, me too. I love going on walks. So it's something about a walk that just does my soul good.
I've been feeling like being outside and everything. So figure out what is going to make you feel better. Well, it possibly couldn't be no makeup or whatever, but figure out what's going to make you feel like the feminine woman that you want to be, or that you should be. And you're going to attract a different feeling for yourself and the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to bring some haters too.
Oh, you always going to have some haters.
So don't forget.
But y'all know how to handle them.
Yes.
Thank you for having this conversation with me, friend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We talked about so many different things today. I mean, y'all, we really be letting y'all into our girl chat.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Hey, listen, we want y'all to like, listen, subscribe, share. Tell us what you think about this conversation. If you feel like you've been letting yourself kind of go a little bit, think about what you can do to spruce it up, or come see me and I'll help you.
Yes. Yes. Look, let me do a plug too. We need to plug ourselves every time.
We don't be plugging nothing.
We do need to plug ourselves, because I'm hosting a masculine feminine class. Yes.
When is it?
June 21st.
June 21st. Hey, listen, y'all visit her website, takeshabanks.com.
We really need to do that more often. Not to cut you off.
Maybe you need to put it at the end of the thing.
Yeah, we need to plug ourselves.
Because we got all kind of businesses and stuff going on.
And we need to talk about our live. Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I need a class right after this, because I want to wear some blush. So next time I'm going to have some blush on. Listen, and I'm going to start recording, but listen, I'm like, can Keisha come early enough to do my makeup before we record?
You don't need no makeup. Listen, like, listen, subscribe, share. Tell us what y'all think. Be looking out, watching out for our lives. They probably gonna start like what, June? You think?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
that
be doing.
sounds
We'll
good.
be going live, and we'll be talking live to y'all about this stuff. Okay, we see y'all next week.